Posterity, the podcast with Aaron-Michael Fox and Eric Crusan is starting now.
You're listening to For Posterity, the podcast with Aaron-Michael Fox and
Eric Crusan.
We're working on it. We're getting the timing better. We'll jump right into this. I hate it on podcasts and shows where they make the guests wait and they talk forever without ever letting the guest actually speak for themselves. But we do have a guest in the studio today. Local West Virginian, cut his teeth here in Huntington. Like I say, I'm not going to drag out the intro because I hate it when podcasts.
It has gone so well so far, as you can tell.
Yeah, that was the best intro I've ever had, actually.
It's probably the longest too.
No, well, it was. That's a record.
In the studio with us is Josh McDonald. We'll get to it so we can play here. Josh, welcome to the show.
Show, how are you?
Welcome to the table.
It's I wish people could see this place. It's great.
It's visually spectacular.
Yeah, there's no point to talk about it. They can't even imagine it right, but it's
Yeah.
perfect.
I'm
It's
sitting
perfect.
here and I still can't get it right.
It's perfect.
It's I did a little redecorating since the last week. Eric has actually asked for this. It's 13 weeks now. This is our 13th episode. Lucky number
Aw,
13.
That's like an anniversary for you guys, right?
13 is a weird
This is we got. I guess the audience has no idea what we're talking about. We've got graffiti up around,
There's graffiti everywhere.
and
Some of it's running, so it's like you got bad acid.
Banksy would either love it or hate it in here.
Banksy would hate it. I feel
He
like.
would hate it.
Actually, no. I mean, he might like it because
He'd say-
I'm clearly not doing it for any commercial
Yeah,
value.
you'd say you have spunk.
He's like, hey, you should probably get out your room.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're supposed to be on buildings.
Not in them.
Yeah, a lot of. I got to point out the cartoon aspect. I know what I paint: Sonic the Hedgehog, Cheshire Cat, Garfield,
Nigger Mickey.
I thought that was Sonic. Actually, I thought that was his original name.
Yeah, that's Foxy actually.
Yeah, I remember from those old cartoons.
Yeah, have we talked about it before?
I don't think so. Is it Disney?
No, not Disney. That's why it doesn't
Oh.
exist anymore.
Okay.
Foxy, and for those of you who can't see it, Foxy is basically
Those of you, all of you that can't
everybody
see it.
who's not here. Foxy is basically Mickey Mouse with points on his ears and a foxtail.
And I think a bigger dick. I can't see it, but I have to assume.
that's just my. I added that.
Oh, you added
that's
the
just
dick.
my
Oh, yeah.
artwork.
I don't know. That's awesome.
But Foxy was created by a bunch of Disney artists that left Disney and went to Warner Brothers.
After Mickey?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then he had a very short career.
As most blacks did at that time.
He made it, I want to say 2 or 3 short films before Disney went, hey, that's Mickey with pointed ears.
That's Mickey with a big dick and pointed ears.
Contract law, though, it's different enough.
No.
I mean,
not,
copyright law.
Not when you're dealing with Walt Disney.
Yeah, but when he had that much power.
There's copyright. Like in this town, we say there's 2 sets of rules. There's the rules for everybody, and then there's the rules for John Hankins, as a prominent property owner. And basically, there's the rules of copyright and trademark, and then there's the rules of Disney.
Nobody says that. That's not a saying. Why would you say that's a saying? You're probably the only person that's ever said that.
I didn't make it up, so clearly somebody else says it.
Yeah, so at least 2 people, said it. Him and then whoever the other person
When I
was.
used to work for the city, I got on the Facebook page, I got a complaint from somebody who asked why there was a yellowed off loading area with a parking meter. Like it should be one or the other.
Yeah.
And when I went to investigate, it was because Mr. Hankins had created his own loading zone.
Fucking Hankins, man.
So
I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody gives a shit. That's why I find it hard to believe that's a saying that people say.
he does what he wants to do.
Actually, that's this city's motto. I don't know if you knew that. I have a tattoo of it from when I was here.
Welcome to Huntington. Why are you here? That should be the city motto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know why you're here.
Do you remember that? Well, I don't know.
Like, that's not a commentary on the city. That's a commentary on the culture, that you can't be here for longer than what we just said, maybe 45 minutes. Like, your first stop for gas, somebody is like, when you say like you're not local, someone will ask, "Oh, why are you here?" Like, you should be somewhere else. Not like a friendly welcome. What brings you here?
It's like reverse Neverland. I feel like it's like not Michael. Like, you just automatically become old when you're here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's like. Think about it. This city has been the fattest city in America at one point. It's the most depressed. Like, it's literally described my whole existence in one city. It's brilliant. I love this place. I miss it. I miss the food, the drugs. I do. There's some
that was a common adage at the Funny Bone. Was this week Huntington, next week rehab.
Yeah.
That was.
They have decent rehabs around.
Like, there's been comics that canceled shows here because, like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start my rehab early.
Well,
there's been comics that didn't make it on stage because they were in jail.
That's what I was going to say. Like, the Andy Dick shit. I remember reading about it when I first moved here, and I was just like, that's like going to be a part of that man's career forever. This town. Like, I was like, I can't wait to, see what this town has to offer. It was mostly just this stuffed fucking bison in an outfit, like in a
what?
Marco. That's mostly what this town makes me think of.
Andy Dick molested Marco? What the hell are you
How
talking
did you get from
about?
Andy Dick to Marco?
I don't know, Eric. Did you ever listen to yourself? You do the same type of diatribes.
No, I think you just went off the
No,
rails.
personally, I know how you got there, but I want you to explain it.
How did I get there? I don't know. I don't even know. We're still here. I was saying, like, what I got out of this town. Like, I came here and I wanted to see. Like, I heard about the Andy Dick thing because it was around the same time. You know. And then
I'm just okay.
And so then I was like, mostly what I got out of this town. What makes me think of this town is a fucking green-shirted buffalo.
Yeah, it's not what you
bison.
expected at all.
No, that's not what I expected at all.
It's not what you expected.
It's
not what I expected.
It's not the cool town where Andy Dick got arrested.
I mean, it is. It is. It most definitely is.
What? How is it not the town with the green shirted
at a
buffalo?
place called Whiskey Rocks, right? Or was the place next door?
No, I actually, this is one of my favorite things about that incident is that I get to name drop Bruce because
You never do that.
I never.
Bruce who?
Right?
I'm glad you said his name twice because I'd have been confused if you just said Bruce.
Sex with who? I know this.
But
cut that out.
I get to name drop Bruce because I get to say I don't know. I wasn't here. I was on tour with Bruce when that happened. So I got all of it.
That's almost like you set it up. You're like, okay,
almost
get in there. We need some publicity. I don't know why you sound like an old Jew from New York. That's just my Can you tell that's my... I have
everybody drink.
Now?
That's Josh's first Jew joke. Everybody drink.
We're going to be wasted by the end of this.
By the way, I have to say this as a disclaimer.
We drink every time Josh makes a Jew joke or says back in New York.
Oh my God, we're going to be wasted.
Everyone, I wish the show was out before the comedy show, so everyone could come.
This may happen
because I know you guys.
We're recording a day early today to accommodate our guests' schedule.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I know you guys are a Wednesday. You're like a
you're throwing everything
you're like
off.
a church group meeting on Wednesday.
Like now, I have to find a ride to Black Sheep because I usually just stagger.
Because you guys' schedules are so busy.
And I usually stagger with you and then back. And
we're like a drunk Laverne and Shirley.
More like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh shit!
I was going to say an interracial Benny and
that.
Squiggy. That's what I was going to say. More like that. I'll let you decide which one's Lenny. These are so relevant. These fucking references.
They are to me because I'm fucking 40.
Our grandmas are going to love this. They're gonna love it.
My mom's going to be like, oh, I know Squiggy.
I remember Squiggy.
We're going to be coming back to you with a new song from Joan Jett, and after that, a special message from President Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. All the mainstream artists of today, 1979.
How do you think President Carter is going to handle the oil shortage, Josh?
I think it's going to help him in this next election. I definitely get him voted.
I think he's going to get reelected.
I can't believe you're actually running with this.
This is what white people like to talk about, Eric.
No,
Jimmy Carter.
No. What is
I
what
only
is
talk
what
about-
white people?
Let's get drunk and live in the past. Oh my God, that is what white people
I've
do.
heard someone be like,
Let's get drunk and live in the past. That's exactly what white people do.
Yeah, that's definitely not
That's
a black people
perfectly
thing.
what white people do.
No.
Well, no, because we don't get drunk and go fucking pick
Yeah,
cotton.
but where do black people live? Where would they? Why would they want to live in the present? It seems shitty for them. Just saying.
We don't get drunk and build America.
Are we going to talk?
I don't know what happened. I had a bottle of whiskey last night. I woke up and there was 6 miles of railroad down. I have no idea.
I'm not Chinese.
I think I built a fence.
John Henry was not Chinese, damn it. Come on now. We already discussed this in the racial profiling episode. The Chinese make good landfill. The Africans put the rail down on top of the Chinese landfill.
No. He was real, right?
And Josh makes fun of Jews.
John Henry was real, right? He was a real guy
he's
from
West Virginia. Well, he wasn't from West Virginia.
But
We
he
just
lived-
claimed him.
Yeah.
Supposedly he died.
Now,
there.
see, Johnny Appleseed, he was real too, right?
I don't know.
But Paul Bunyan, not real, right? I can't get.
I don't know about any of them, but John Henry, because
I
that's the
remember
West
him all
Virginia
from like Tall Tales and stuff. But I mean, did he really beat a train? Is that? I mean, John Henry
beat a train.
Yeah, wasn't
You
that
don't
like,
know the story at all.
No, he didn't beat a train. He built.
All right,
he was
buckle in. Here we
building-
go.
Built
This,
in the
you
railroad.
might have to be a regular on the show. This is
Welcome
American
back to-
Folk Tales filtered through Josh McDonald.
Welcome back to the history of John Henry. Everybody. This is Aaron-Michael Fox, your host. No, but he built a railroad machine. It put it down because it's basically a story about how the
No, he
Industrial
didn't.
Revolution.
He didn't build a machine. No.
He raced a machine.
Yeah, he raced a
That's
machine.
what I'm saying.
yes.
He raced a machine. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, guy.
You said he built the machine.
I did, but it was a mistake.
Look, you realize what year that was. You can't give niggas that much credit. He didn't build a machine.
He could have.
He worked harder than the machine.
He could have, but he'd have to keep
But
the thing
that-
to himself. I mean, he can't show it to anybody.
Yeah, they would just take it.
But
Be
the
like,
whole point of the
thanks.
story is
This is
it's
ours
about
now.
the Industrial
And who
Revolution.
taught you to build
Right.
this thing? Like, what are you doing? You made this blueprint yourself? Who taught you to do this?
Yeah.
I know. No, I'm not gonna play that one out. Go ahead.
Well,
What?
no, go ahead. I like where this is going.
It's like, I love racism. Please continue.
No, it was good. That guy wasn't going to make it very long. In my historical example, he wasn't going to survive. So we'll move on.
Back in New York. I'm just kidding.
There's a lot of Jews.
No, but you know what?
Drink.
There's actually a lot of Civil War history in New York I didn't expect. You know, like there was like a lot of there was a huge. I don't know why I researched this, but there was a huge. This sounds really bad. A huge Confederate sympathy, in New York, like a whole group of people that really sympathized with the Confederacy and were kind of understood. You wouldn't expect that from New York City, especially even then.
So they're like the Kid Rocks of them.
Yeah, exactly. They were like these. People
You're from
who
Detroit, asshole. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I guess just a bunch of people in New York wanted slaves. I guess I don't know.
It does make life easier.
Wait, that is true. You can't. No one could deny that.
Exactly.
Okay, since I thought, okay, we're talking slavery on this episode.
You seem really excited about that.
Well, I mean, now that we're in it, I got to throw out my ancestor, and I was really proud at first when I thought I had an abolitionist ancestor, and it turns out that he wasn't an abolitionist. He was against slavery, but he wasn't an abolitionist. His whole plan, basically the idea, the reason he opposed slavery wasn't because of equal rights and black people are human like everybody else, and it was slaves make white people lazy, which is bad for the economy.
Hey, that's actually a
So,
pretty good theory, though, Aaron-Michael. I mean,
You should be proud of that.
yeah, that's pretty freaking smart and ahead of its time. In the sense of it is wrong. I mean,
Well, here's where he
But-
jumps the shark with it.
So the Negroes are basically the cell phones of today. Like they just, before everybody had Negroes, they would just sit around
in
with their Negroes.
a
do
way,
everything.
he's saying what Bernie Sanders is saying, which is that these super.
No.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
No.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna have to stop you there.
yeah. I just want this to be in there. That's all.
The next leg of the plan, or the way to remedy this, and when I've got the pamphlet in the next room if you want to look at it. By the way, we've laughed over it a few times, Eric and I. there's some lines that just pop out at you.
God.
Like when he refers to, what is it, the black vomit and yellow bile spreading across America, something like that,
Jesus.
and it's Africans and Chinese that he's talking about.
I've read that. That when he said yellow and black, I knew where he was going.
There's one line that's we joked about, it's very Tolkienish, where he talks about standing at the edge of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the border between West Virginia and Virginia, and saying to the mass of blacks headed toward West Virginia, saying, "Here shalt thou come and no further.
You shall not pass."
So he was just like the you of then. That's what. With the most current political views. That's all he was.
No, he was kind of out on a limb. He didn't have a whole lot of support for this idea.
Can't imagine why.
But and this is where this is a whole, like, when I first, it's called the Ruffner pamphlet that he wrote, and when I first heard pamphlet, I was thinking like 4 or 5 pages, and I went and dug it up. The thing's like 150 pages.
So
it's a book. It's not a pamphlet. But he actually lays out his plan. Is like, if you're going to be born, if you're black, African, and born after such and such date, you're free. If you're born before such and such date, you're free when you turn 18 or 21 or whatever his date was. And basically, we would educate, white Christian American, educate each subsequent generation, and then send them back to Africa.
Which is not a bad plan to me.
And he actually has it worked out by the numbers, how much it will cost. Adjusted for inflation, because this is over years, He's got it by the head, how much it will cost for each Negro to be educated and then sent back home.
Eric, do you think that, like, black and white people should be separated?
No, but
we have to cut you in half?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I think it's not a bad plan. Just imagine how things would be if they sent black people back to Africa educated. Like, then they could take what they learned.
White educated.
It doesn't matter.
A big difference.
It's still an education. It's better than whatever the fuck they was learning over there.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, come on, man. There's something to be said about, like, we kind of fucked up.
I'm not saying it's morally
that's what you're saying.
right.
You're saying that they were naturally fucking retarded.
No, I'm not saying that either.
You're basically saying, the white people need to come in and train them, like a manager at a McDonald's.
It's not.
Fucking Jaquan's not going to learn how to grill. You need to go back there and teach him, Mike. That's always what that's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
This rich tribal culture has no idea about American middle management.
That's what you're basically saying.
But it's not the same education that they would get if they were over there, though.
No, but it probably would have been a little bit
worse. It would have sucked less.
You need freedom. Will the Cubs win the Super Bowl? Or what's Miley Cyrus wearing? I
mean, look what our fucking
freedom.
We have senators now that are dictating what a lot of African leaders do. Like in, I don't remember the name of the country because I don't care about it that much.
I'm just saying it's not a.
But
it's better than killing them.
Oh my God!
But it's
better than killing them.
It's Uganda. Sorry,
I got whiskey in the back of my nose now.
But Uganda is the name of it. Like our senators
trying to sound so caring, and then I don't remember the name. I don't care.
It's Uganda, and we basically just tell their leaders that it's cool about what they do to homosexuals over there, which is kill them pretty much. And
because we're living through them.
Rape
we would love to do that here, but we can't because there'd be an uprising.
Rape gay women here
because there would be an uprising.
I don't know what you're into. But I like it.
But no, you should totally kill your gay people over there because we can't do that.
No, that's what they're doing. They're basically admitting, that's what they would do if they could.
I mean, that's just part of the horrible, corrupt American election system is going worldwide, because anytime there's not an election going on here, they go on to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
and since basically the marriage equality issue has been decided in this country, they're going other places that it hasn't.
I just never understood who gives a fuck.
I don't understand why you would care.
Yeah. There's probably going to be a lot more fucks in this. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I say is this, you guys cool with that?
Fuck yeah.
We're going to have to take a break and talk to our sponsors to make sure Josh is going to be able to continue on the show.
Brought to you by Whiskey Rocks. Why did we bring them up in the first place? I don't even know why I said it.
Andy Dick.
Oh, that's
and then Marco.
Old Andy Dick and Marco holding hands in the club. I'll leave. I'll just leave, guys. I get it. I'm fucking up the chemistry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have been here.
Let's hope it's over now.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
We're hitting the record button here to catch what's surely going to be the car alarm down the street going off any minute now. Apparently, they didn't get everything when they came the first, second, third, or fourth time.
Yeah. It was,
and now there's
a
freaking train.
I'm really getting that Huntington experience back. Like, I'm having memories flood like a acid flashback.
Like, this is why I don't even have a clue what number episode it was, but this is at some point why I felt the need, like I had to say, like, this isn't like a City Noise soundtrack that we downloaded.
Like a special effect or
yeah, because like at a certain...
Because we really wanted to make it shittier.
At a certain point, it's like a cartoon. It's like, really? How many sirens, car alarms, jackhammers, trains, backup light thing, like backup beeps? Like, how much? Really? Like, there's that much? Yeah,
It feels
apparently.
like that part in fucking Back to the Future where like Marty's trying to yell like, I'm trying to tell you about the future, and like stuff's so loud you can't even tell Doc Brown. That's what the town's like with like.
You know what I think?
Eric's already getting mad. Eric's already getting mad.
That's right.
Back
You
to the Future.
hate Back to the Future.
No, it's not that. I do hate Back to the Future, but it's not. I like the first one. It's not that.
Was it that obscure reference?
No,
Everyone knows what that is.
This is what it reminds me of. Like, this is what I think in my head every time. Like, it reminds you of the movie Back to the Future. It reminds me of Scrooge.
Scrooge.
Bill Murray.
Scrooge.
Oh, yeah.
Like my favorite Bill Murray movie.
Yeah, the Bill Murray.
Cat Goldthwait's in that. He's
Yeah.
a very important character.
But it's the part like when
Maybe
would you
the
please
best role for
hold the goddamn hammering? And then they start hammering again. He's like, would you please,
I love that fucking part.
for the love of God, in your own bodies,
Bill
hold the goddamn hammering?
Listen, when Bill Murray kicks it, I'm gonna cry like a
Oh
fucking
my God, I will
baby.
lose my shit
Dude,
when
I
Bill
love
Murray
him so
dies.
much. He's so.
Why
He's
you
my
gotta
idol.
bring it down like that? Like,
No, oh, I'm sorry. No, I'll
Why?
laugh my ass off when he died. Like,
why are you going? He's what? How old is he?
He's old. It's
He's
gonna
not
be.
up there,
that
man.
old. Oh, he's gonna be soon.
He's done a lot.
It's gonna be soon.
He's done a lot.
I don't know if season 2 of SNL wasn't 2 years ago, Aaron-Michael. He's done a lot. Like
He's what? Maybe 60, 65? He's not like George Burns.
No, but I mean, he's fucking. Who knows what could happen?
Oh wow! All right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of my health. I tend to project it onto other people. I don't know. Like, I'm not.
No,
gonna
you're
make
in the
it
unhealthiest room, in the unhealthiest
It's low.
city, in the unhealthiest country on the planet.
I know
right
I'm
now.
not gonna.
You're
figure
at the
out-
nexus of unhealthy right now.
I'm too West Virginian to, even in New York. Like, I know I'm not gonna know what 65's like. I see these old people in New York walking around. I'm like, I'm not gonna get there.
No, it's gonna get to you.
You think?
And drink back in New York. Drink.
I forgot.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Drink.
I do live there, fucking assholes. Yeah, you guys. It would be
Every
like
time you mention where you live, we're gonna drink.
yeah, like I don't know how I can help it. That's where I fucking live.
Well, I do live
When I
in
lived
New York.
here, when I lived here, I would talk about here in other places. Like that's what you do, right?
No,
Yeah,
I
pretty
doubt
much.
that. I feel like
I
it
do
was.
not-
I feel like it was a lot of back in West Virginia.
No, I said Huntington. I
Oh,
like
really?
Listen, I'm proud.
Was
that
it
I live
more
in this
than-
town.
was
I
it
love
more
this
than
town.
50
Really,
miles from
that's
here?
True. Eric's looking at me like he wants to kill me.
Was it more than 50 miles from Huntington? And did people?
I
know-
said I would. I'm annoying. Like I will tell people
we
where I
we
live.
know that.
What-
Yeah, I will tell people where I live and describe it. Like they won't know what I'm talking about.
What are you so proud of about living in
Huntington? Because it's the perfect West Virginia town because it has every aspect of West Virginia that people should know about. I think in one town.
It's my favorite
true.
city, so
No,
I
that's what
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you.
This
Like,
is
it's
like
the most
West Virginia's
West Virginia
scrapbook.
No one ever talks about it. It's not on any lists. It's probably on the bottom of like negative or top of negative list.
Oh yeah,
But-
it's known.
But like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, but it is the most West Virginia town out there. You still have the mountains. There's a fucking river. Like it has history. Like there's a ghetto part of town. there's also a really nice part of town. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to say it's the most. I don't want to say the most American, because it is different. Huntington's different from the rest of West Virginia, but but kind of every corner of West Virginia is. It's a very. We're not really a homogenous culture.
No.
By
There's
any
like
means.
different sectors of West Virginia.
The Pittsburgh
Just like the
suburbs
United
versus
States.
the DC suburbs versus us out here in the southwest corner versus down in the south.
There's no solidifying
between Kentucky and Virginia.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very
like where I'm from, I don't even consider West
for
Virginia.
basically
It doesn't feel the same.
for basically 100% white Scotch Irish.
Yeah.
With a few Germans and Italians scattered throughout. It's an incredibly
Whether we wanted them to or not, they just kind of right? I mean, remember when they didn't?
We tried everything to keep the blacks out.
I mean, Italians didn't even used to be white people.
How many manifestos can you write? I mean, I guess at some point we got to teach you people how to read.
We tried to keep them out. Why do you think we brought them here in chains?
But I'll tell you what, underneath that coal, we're all the same color. As long as you, is that too much? Is that not a true thing?
No, that goes back. That's like West Virginia 100 years ago. That everybody's black in a coal mine thing, like the union rights, like old West Virginia that elected John Kennedy. Not
we liked him because of the way he felt about unions. That's a West Virginia thing.
Yes.
I remember a guy I work. I'm going to mention.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No.
Less than a third of coal miners
in
in West Virginia union now.
Somehow we got dumber as a state. Is that possible?
It's almost like all of the smart people have systematically left over the last half century for some reason.
Why would you ever leave?
It's almost like the creative, weird, smart.
I'll tell you this. If there were more comedy clubs here, I would still be here. I like this. I love to be in a place that has the right view on gun control. You know what I'm saying?
Which is no view on gun control.
Well, exactly. Like, just let whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, that's how it pretty much is.
That's how I feel. Like the whole United States should be. I know me and Aaron-Michael don't see eye on that.
It depends when we get into the nuts and bolts of it. But
to me, you can't.
Huntington has the right attitude about it. That's why I like Huntington. There's a lot of on the core issues. I fit with Huntington, and basically, you would have to be out of your freaking mind to kick down a random door in this city. This is not a city that you would go, oh, it looks like nobody's home. I'm going to kick in a door and take anything of value. Because there's a 90 or better % chance that there's going to be a loaded gun with a trigger-happy redneck on the other side of that door. And I like that. I really like that.
And the only difference between breaking into a redneck's house or like a black dude's house in Huntington is black dude can't.
The cops will show up?
Yeah, I was going to say, the black dude has to buy an illegal gun.
No, they're all illegal. They're all illegal.
I guess that's true.
No,
but there's more of a. Yeah, you're right. The cops will show.
There's AK-47s. There's AR-15s. They're both houses. They all have the same stuff. But if you get shot in a white neighborhood, the cops will show up.
That's so crazy.
If you get shot in a black neighborhood, they'll say,
well,
"Drag your ass to a white neighborhood."
So you didn't talk to him?
No.
Okay.
Well, my friend Stewie
we got to jump into this because I just hit the record button. So to jump in, we're talking about meeting celebrity comics.
Yeah.
Or not meeting in Josh's case. Josh didn't meet Chris Rock.
at stand-up New York, but just was too afraid to talk to him.
You talked to Amy Schumer?
Yeah. Well, no. I didn't talk to either one of them. I don't know.
Amy was on the show, right?
No,
so,
she did time. She's not on the show. She just
showed up. Was like, hey,
of course you're going to give her. She bumped whoever else was on.
Yeah.
The show.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah, but like I don't know. Also, you know who else I met there? This is not a big time.
Back in New York. But
it was like I don't want to seem braggy, but this was just surreal. Like this was. Is it weird that this weirded me out even more? Like Marion Gordon, who was like, sorry, I pronounced it wrong. Marion Grodin. Charles Grodin's fucking daughter hosts mics at Stand Up New York, and that was like crazy to me because like as a kid I watched the movie Beethoven, and he was like a fucking like. He was like the mad dad, and my dad was a mad asshole. So like that was like
okay. That's what I was thinking he was, but I couldn't.
he was the dad in that, and you know, he had his own TV show, I think talk show like years ago. I don't know, Charles Grodin.
The
He
only
was always funny. He's in the movie Clifford with Martin Short. That's that movie was so awful. Like people hate it, but I loved it as a kid. Like I don't know, it was funny to me.
the only because I've opened up for a few people locally, and of course, you know, it's drastically against the rules to be starstruck at your local.
Yeah, exactly. No,
club.
totally. Yeah.
But on the road, it's a little different. And like I ran into Christian Finnegan at what's the one on the east side? The Comic Strip Live.
Yeah.
I ran into Christian Finnegan there, and a couple other people that I can't think off the top of my head. But the standout story happened at the Dayton Funny Bone for me, where I met Dave Chappelle.
I was going to say I couldn't handle that. He's one of my influences.
Because you know he lives in Dayton.
Yeah.
And would
Farm
frequently show up at Wiley's, the old club, and then now Funny Bone.
Mhm.
And I was there. I have no idea who I was opening for because I want to say this was before the run with Bruce. But whoever I was opening for, I go out. I go out to the car to smoke between shows, and as I'm walking back in, I'm walking past the line, waiting for tickets for the second show, and I'm walking right behind this black guy with a baseball cap on, and I kind of notice immediately like his posture and the way he's walking and whatnot, but I'm just seeing him from behind. Go, and I'm honest to God having this conversation in my head going, that looks like Dave Chappelle. And then I call myself a racist in my head.
They all look alike.
And then saying, everybody that walks with every skinny black guy that walks with a little swagger is Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I shout that voice down in my head and walk on in. And we get up to the front door of the club. I don't know if you played the Dayton Funny Bone, but the club's upstairs.
No, I've never.
And the box office is downstairs. So you walk in, and I just step in the front door, past the line, and go to head up the stairs. And the guy in front of me stops at the window and asks who the headliner is. And I'm like on the second step, and as soon as I hear the voice, I go, "That is Dave Chappelle." You could talk me out, voice in my head, of the posture, but you cannot tell me that voice is not Dave Chappelle. And I go running back down the stairs, and of course it is
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
That's cool.
And I go basically running up to him as he's kind of turning away from the box office. I'm like, "Hey, Dave, are you doing time tonight?" And he basically goes, "No, I don't think so. I might." And I go, "No, come on, do some time. Do my time. I don't care." I'm so starstruck. I'm supposed to be doing 20. You can do my 20. I don't go. I don't care. And he's immediately starting to back away, going.
Hey, you seem crazy.
Yeah, and we're both walking back out of the
I don't know if
club
it's
now.
an accent or your enthusiasm.
Yeah, because he's walking out of the club, probably trying to walk away from me, but I'm walking with him. And as soon as we get outside the club, I don't even realize I'm shouting. I'm so excited. I go, "You want to smoke some weed? I got some weed in my car. You want? I'm inviting him back to my car, just a random. You want to come smoke some weed in my car?
You were trying to pick him up almost.
And he immediately starts backing away. And
I got flavored condoms.
I straight up turned into a junior high school girl at a Justin Bieber concert.
I kind of
when
want to
met
tell a
Chappelle.
story, but it's not really my story. But it is about a friend of mine in New York. In New York, I don't know if you guys.
Everybody drink, New York.
Yes, I got a drink too. But his name's Patrick Smith. I'm just gonna put him on blast. He's probably my best friend in New York. You can drink double.
New York, everybody drink.
But he met Louis C.K. twice, and the thing is, both times he's asked him the same question. He's like, my friend sounds like Ray Romano, just fucking like Ray Romano. He looks like Lee Harvey Oswald, but he sounds like Ray Romano. You can picture a person. He really. And the thing is,
That sounds like a Family Guy sketch.
he gets a lot of pussy. I don't know if I should keep that in, but yeah, no. But Patrick Smith, yeah, he saw Louis twice. The first time Louis was like eating ice cream, which is so stereotypical. And he goes up to him. He's like, "Yeah, is it true that you will give anybody? I know you don't take pictures, but you'll give anybody 5 minutes to talk to him?" And Louis is like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, well, you give me 5 minutes?" He's like, "No, man, I'm busy, right?" Like, and so, and then he sees him again because Louis lives in like the West Village or around that area because of Sellers there, you know. Right. And then he's like, he sees him again, and he asks him the same question again, and he's just like, "Nah, man, I'm busy. I'm gonna go do a set or something like that." So he's just my friend Patrick is just so unlikable that Louis is just like, ugh. He probably remembers him like, "I'm gonna stay away from that guy. He sounds like a fucking Ray Romano, but looks like a killer, like a."
I honestly got my ADD. I got distracted by the voice. How it started as clearly Ray Romano and ended as Bill Burr.
Yeah, hey, Ray Romano. I'm Ray Romano. You know, these fucking guys. I don't know. Yeah, these fucking.
What are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do?
It didn't go well. I don't know accents. Like, I'll do an accent making fun of people in New York. They'll be like, "That's clearly Boston." I'm like, okay, I could do a Southern accent for you people. It would be pretty accurate. And they're just like, "Oh, we don't give a shit." And then I don't know. It did sound like Bill Burr at the end. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to please.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
You know, these fucking women. These fucking women. That's, you know,
he got that quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Get up.
I wish I could. Yeah, with his voice, you could do anything, and it's fucking funny. That's fucking Obama.
It's like a short breath.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I wish I could do that.
What are you gonna do?
I have to actually, you know.
I met Bill Burr here across the street at the Keith Albee.
Yeah, I was there.
You may have been here or been there for this, where he made fun of the mayor. That is when I was still working for the mayor, or working in the mayor's office. And he said, I don't remember what he called the mayor. We're going to say dumbass to save creative thought. But he's talking about the lack of people around here, and he's saying this is perfect because Bill's lack of patience with other human beings. Yeah. And he's saying, your dumbass mayor is going to say that you need to bring more people in here, that you need the tourism, you need the people. You tell him you don't need don't need it. You need them to stay the hell away.
But corporations, listen, you got a perfect small town here.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is where I'm going to retire because I can. What's $200,000 going to get you in L.A. and get you a castle in Huntington? And after the show, like he's taking pictures and everything, and I went up just to shake his hand because again, you're not supposed to. You don't get autographs. You don't. That's just part of it.
Or pictures, yeah.
And so I go to walk up, and he gives me the look like you don't want to have. And I give him the kind of, I'm a comic face,
Mm-hmm.
And I shake his hand. I say I was a road comic for a few years. I'm off now. I'm working for the mayor, thinking about going back to stand. Or I say I'm working for the dumbass mayor now, thinking about going back to stand up. And Bill looks at me and goes, "Hey, you should stay working for the mayor."
Good, you quit.
Like he didn't try to sell me on.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
you should go back to comedy. No, he didn't. No help at all.
That's hilarious. That doesn't surprise me.
You got a good thing here.
I remember that.
This is your oyster.
I remember that show because it was a weird week because I saw him here at Keith Albee, and then the next day saw Doug Stanhope, which I know you're not necessarily the biggest fan of his comedy or whatever, but for me, like those are
like stand-up?
I don't care.
That's what it is. He's just not like
he's Trevor Noah to me.
Yeah. See, yeah.
Meh.
For me, I love Stanhope. Burr and Stanhope are like two huge influences for me.
Stanhope.
The best Stanhope story I've ever heard.
So it was cool to see.
No idea what show or what town or where he was when this happened. I don't even know what comic told this to me, but he was opening for Stanhope. And they're outside the show in the lobby, where they do you're just hawking your T-shirts and your mailing lists and whatever. and this old, I don't know if it's a male or female, but an old person comes up kind of complaining about, the content of the show and, the Stanhopeness of it.
Yeah.
And he just stands there and nods sincerely, and when they're finished, he goes, "Oh, you're more than welcome to sign my comic card." And he just steps back and he's holding his dick in his hand.
That does not surprise me, though. That is great.
Stanhope is a genius.
I love anybody who's just absolutely true to themselves.
I think
you know
he's a comic genius to me.
No, totally.
Because he can just go.
God bless you all.
I'm just saying he's overrated.
We're having a
as
serious
hip-hop
conversation,
All
and I'm
I'm
trying to
saying
remind people of
two
talking
white
more.
dudes and a half black guy from West Virginia aren't going to figure this problem out.
I've already figured it out.
It's what,
Eric's got it.
I've had it for a long time now.
That's the white part of you saying that shit. Like, you don't realize that. You don't realize that. But that's what it is. Like, the black part of you is like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should think about this a little bit more before I make a decision. But the white part's like, yeah, I got this figured out. That's what that is. Believe me, I know, because I'm really fucking white. Like,
No.
And I know that
Josh is very white.
Yeah, I'm super
He
white.
is. I'm looking at him. He looks like fucking Mama Fratelli.
I'm not even ashamed of that. Like, that's probably gotten me laid before. Hey, you look like the lady from the Goonies. Let's do it. I definitely think that's happened. Yeah.
You know what doesn't get you laid? Being the only white guy on a black comedy tour.
I believe that.
You would think going in that you would have like a niche, but no. After about the 15th time that the girl you're hitting on goes back to the hotel with a t-shirt salesman,
Oh, shit.
you realize, it's really not about what I
like-
did on stage.
He's like fifth rung. She's like, oh, he's got a job.
He's
like-
Bruce's cousin,
That's hilarious.
and he's handling the t-shirt sales.
That's
He's
pretty.
connected.
That's pretty bad.
Really, until you've crushed it as an opener, and then lost a girl to the opener's t-shirt salesman, you really don't understand show business.
I think that's the truest thing that was said today.
Probably.
Not just by us three, but like anyone. I don't know what happened in the rest of the world, but this has to be top 10 truest things that was said. If she's sleeping with the t-shirt salesman, you lost, pretty much.
Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4.
Boogie.
Baby.